What is up, my Lorcana Goons? My name is Kevin. Welcome to the Monday Market Watch. Today is December 18th, and we're going to talk about some Lorcana stuff today. I have for you some updated prices, some low, some getting a little bit higher, but I've been seeing a lot of the prices still decline when it comes to the singles, but sealed product, it's just fighting its way to stay expensive, you know what I mean? But I do want to say, like, comment, and subscribe if you yourself are a Lorcana Goon and you like Lorcana content, because when you do like, comment, and subscribe, it supports the channel, it gives me motivation, and I kind of just wake up with a smile on my face. So hey man, if you want to contribute to that, I would really appreciate if all the goons would like, comment, and subscribe. But anyways, let's get on to these prices. I did want to address something. I saw B Squared post on Twitter that he was doing some calculations, and he was saying that you can pretty much make a competitive Lorcana deck for less than $250, and I'm gonna even go as far as to say that you can make one for less than $150. Now, I have here, just real quick, the Ruby Amethyst list. I got first place at the online charity Lorcana tournament that happened this weekend. There was over 250 players, and I just net decked the first place list. The only difference was that I took out the 4 Maleficent dragons, and I added 3 Dragonfire. And that's it. The only legendaries we're playing in here is going to be Ursula, Power Hungry, and outside of that, we have a total market price, thanks to Dreamborn, of $145 with 61 cents. Now, the reason I took out Maleficent Monstrous Dragon is because it is the most expensive legendary one of the most expensive in the game right now. It's the most expensive card in that deck, and in general, it seems like a card that is very popular, but I have seen players get great results without playing it at all, with only playing maybe 2 to 3, and on top of that, I do want to stress that when you're making decks, and you're deck building, and you have the privilege to go to an LGS. A lot of these cards you see in the deck, ranging from Olaf to Minnie Mouse, Merlin Crabs, a couple other cards, like a lot of the common bulk, all that stuff you're gonna get for free, bro. Like, if you make some friends in the community, you have some homies that play, or even if you just bought in like some starter decks and you pull a really good card out of your starter deck packs, that is your trade value back. And quite frankly, most LGSs should not be charging you any more than about $1 per playset for each of the commons and uncommons you see when it comes to like Olaf, Minnie Mouse Surfer, etc, etc. So this should be even less than $145 in my opinion. And to be honest, I feel like you can make a competitive Lorcana deck right now in the current format and the current meta space for less than $250, less than $200, less than $150 in my opinion. And I think that's pretty dope, right? We're in the current state of the game right now, where the game is really cheap. A lot of people swear that this game is super expensive when they look at the sealed product prices, and we're complaining an insane amount last format. And right now I'm showing you basically the #1 deck of the format at a price point that is, in all honesty, my opinion, completely affordable. Now, if you're somewhere where we don't have an LGS, I understand that it is a privilege to be able to play this game, buy these cards, etc. And if you have to buy them online, you're gonna have to wait 2 weeks, and you're gonna have to pay a little bit more than the price right here, because obviously you're paying shipping and taxes, etc. But all in all, way less expensive than a lot of other TCGs right now, dude. Comparing it to anything, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon is probably the only one that I know that is as affordable. You know what I mean? So less than $200, less than $150 to make the best deck in Lorcana right now. And quite frankly, I think you can see some results with this. I'm probably gonna make it myself just to prove myself right. But anyways, check out these first chapter booster boxes right here. The prices have been kind of going up and down this week. It's looking like they hit that close to MSRP mark of like 145-ish, 149, 150, and then they bounce back up after 150. So lowest verified we have here is going to be by MTG Cards and Games. They have it for 153 with $10 shipping, so about 160 is what you're expected to pay before tax and shipping, right? I mean, if you guys are expecting to find this at MSRP in general, it's a little difficult. Most Targets and Walmarts and all that are not going to have booster boxes. We know this by now. If you compare it to other TCGs, I've never seen a booster box of any other TCG at like a big box retailer. So most of the time, you're getting your booster boxes from the local game store, which, by the way, that's what LGS stands for, local game store. You don't have to say LGS store. It's like saying ATM machine. Like, the S means store. Anyways, so most LGS are going to have this a little bit more than MSRP. I mean, and if you're complaining that it's not at $143.99 on the dot, well then just go complain somewhere else, bro. Because if you're not gonna pay the price, then you're probably not gonna see it at that price. But in general, first chapter booster boxes carry the Enchanted also, which is still the most expensive card in the game. It carries the foil Rapunzel, which is the second most expensive legendary in the game. So is it worth it? Buy singles if you want to play the game. But if you just want sealed product and you want to carry this sealed product as a collectible for a while, this is as close, I think, as the price is going to get to MSRP, about 150, right? And then we also have the second chapter, Rise of the Floodborn. The booster boxes going back up. These were kind of bouncing off MSRP too. I was seeing some get sold for less than 180 over the last couple days. I was seeing sales happening around that 165 mark, 170. There's a gang of them happening right here at 170. As of today, though, you're probably gonna have to pay a little bit more, closer to $200. We have the lowest verified listing here of House of Games TN for 184.90 cents, getting close to that 190 range, almost $200, which is still better than what I was seeing it on release day, but doesn't look like it's hitting that MSRP price point anytime soon. And to be honest, this set is not the best in terms of trying to, I guess, like, get your money back with your pulls. You know what I mean? Even the most expensive Enchanted rare in this set, it has gone down in price this week, which we'll talk about that right now. But let all the legendaries, the rares, for the most part, they're nowhere near as in demand as some of the cards you need for the decks that are from the first chapter. And let's face it, Madam Mim and Merlin are dominating the meta space right now, and they're starter deck cards. So do you really need to buy the sealed product to play the game right now? Not really. It's fun to open packs though, but I do think you should look into getting some singles. But the Rise of the Disney first chapter Troves are actually going to be more expensive than the booster box and the Rise of the Floodborn boxes now. A couple sales happening for more than the $200 price point, as you can tell, around that 210, 189 with shipping. Actually, a lot of people aren't really buying these that much. Only a couple sales happening in the last week or so, but a lot of the listings have gone up to more than $200 now. So the Troves are for sure going to be in demand as long as they don't get reprinted, right? I'm still waiting to see if any are going to get reprinted anytime soon. But I do want to mention to maybe not buy the empty Trove contents you see right here for $20, $25. These empty Troves, this is cardboard, guys. This is not worth 20 some dollars, man. If people are really buying these, I just have to say, go to your LGS, talk to some people who play the game locally. I guarantee you there's plenty of goons who have these still, or who opened a gang of these and just threw them away to the trash. And if you make some friends at your locals, or you go to you start meeting the owners and the managers, and you just let them know, like, hey, do you have one of these, by any chance? They'll just give it to you for free. I bet you they will give it to you for free. I have a couple of these left over, so if you ever see me in person, you want one of these, I will bring it to locals next time for free. Please stop paying money for these. You should not be paying $50 for cardboard. I mean, unless it's a card game that you can actually play on the field, don't pay $50 for it. You know what I mean? Don't pay for the packaging. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, the first chapter starter decks are going to be a little bit more than MSRP. These really never hit the MSRP mark, I've noticed. So they're about $20 still in comparison to the Rise of the Floodborn starter decks, which are very close to MSRP on the market price. So we're already seeing these hit that $15 to $16 mark, which is, pretty much where MSRP was, especially if you're going to like a Walmart or even like a Hot Topic or Barnes & Noble. They end up kind of, being a little bit more than MSRP and after tax, etc. So less than $20 though for these starter decks. I think these make awesome Christmas presents right now, right? In general, I've been seeing the starter decks a lot more at Target. They're a little easier to come by, and if you know somebody who wants to get into the game, I think the Amethyst Steel starter deck is very good. So hey, comes with a pack as well, so get your homies some starter decks for Christmas. The Troves, if you find them at Target, are going to be reselling for about $65, and I know the MSRP for the Troves is a little closer to like 40 to 50. The extra $15 is kind of silly, but I still think that's pretty cheap when you compare it to the first chapter Troves, which are now $200, and because they never got reprinted, right? And same thing with these guys. I can't stress this enough. Please don't buy the cardboard empty Troves. No need to buy empty Troves. Doesn't make sense. It's so silly. Just and make some friends on the Facebook group community. I guarantee you, if you post on Facebook or Twitter on some of these groups and just say, hey, I'm looking for the empty Trove boxes, you will find some people who are nice enough to mail you that, John, for free. And this community is awesome. The Lorcana community will do stuff like that for you. I guarantee it. Please don't buy those. The D100 gift sets are still relatively low right now, but there's not that many verified listings for less than $70. The lowest verified listing is going to be $70, and these people have the promo pack for $50. Please don't buy this promo pack card for $50. It's only 6 cards, and they're not going to be worth $50 in the future. I can guarantee you that they're going to be worth as much as the Hades and Mulan from the first gift set, maybe a little bit more, but you know, they're still going to not be worth that much. Check out these mat prices. The Mickey Mouse playmat from the first chapter has been reselling for $89 in the last couple days. We have 2 sales, $89.89 happening in the last couple days, and before that, one sold for $54. And now we only have 2 listings, one over here for $89 and $99. These prices are going up on the first chapter playmats, and as we can see here by this Maleficent playmat, it's the same price, $89.99. The biggest difference is though that one of them sold for $125. Wow. Hey man, somebody really bought the Maleficent playmat for over $100. This mat is really cool. I really wanted this mat when it first came out, and I just never found it. I could never get my hands on it. I never saw it at a Target, at a GameStop, nothing. They made it like impossible to find. I didn't want to pay $50 resale for it, and now I kind of wish I would have paid $50 resale for it because the price is just absurd. However, I did get my hands on a Winnie the Pooh playmat, and I've been keeping that. I've used it once to make a box opening video that I never uploaded, which I will upload, I swear. But as of right now, I got that one for MSRP, $20. As of right now, they are selling for around $45. These were in that $70 to $60 range during the first couple weeks of the hype of Lorcana, and right now it seems like more people are getting their hands on them, but the resale value is still going to be about double. So lowest verified right here is going to be $43, and then next verified we have $49.99. I don't know, guys. You let me know. Do you think this is worth it? Do you have a Winnie the Pooh mat? Do you think you should buy it now before it jumps up to the $89 price point like we see Maleficent and Mickey Mouse mat over here? Maybe it goes even more than $100 within the next couple months because of the demand. I know so many people love this Winnie the Pooh mat, right? I feel like not everybody was hyped on the Maleficent mat. But, you know, with the Winnie the Pooh mat, I see a lot more interest in it. I'm just saying, if I get my hands on a couple more of these, I probably would. Cinderella Barroom Sensation. This was the most expensive Enchanted rare in Rise of the Floodborn. This was about $300 during the peak in the first week of Lorcana, and as of this week, they're selling for $170, $175, $160. Right here, we have the lowest verified at $174.99 by Spaceboat Games. Shout out you guys. There's a couple more enchanters that I want to go over real quick, like Tinkerbell Giant Fairy. This card hasn't really fallen that much down in price. That's kind of what I wanted to point out. Yeah, it was at that like $200 some mark during the beginning and like the first few waves of the first chapter hype, but I want to say that in the last month or so, it's been chilling at like a decent price, less than 200, but still above that 150. And they have gone down, and 150 is like the lowest I've seen it in a while. We do have a verified seller blade for $149.99, which should be included. But out of a lot of the Enchanted rares, this one seems to be holding some of its weight, especially compared to some of them like Elsa, Spirit of Winter, which is no longer in that $450 range, kind of bouncing off $400 now. So we don't have any sales that happen for $400, but a couple happened for $419, and now we have some unverified listings for some of them for $390 with $1 shipping, $395 with the verified right here. So less than $400 listings on the Elsa Spirit of Winter. I don't know, is this going to keep going lower? Is this the lowest it's going to go? And I'm going to just say right here on the Market Watch, please stop spreading misinformation about fake cards and first wave versus second wave and the color differences and the corners and all that hearsay nonsense, because none of it is confirmed by Ravensburger, number one. Number two, you're scaring people for no reason into thinking they have fake cards, and they're reporting honest sellers on TCG Player and eBay, etc., etc. And number three, you're trying to create a fake hype for something that does not exist. There is, Ravensburger said, there's not going to be a first edition version of these cards. So stop coping, okay? That's just my opinion. The only first edition cards that they've ever confirmed are the D23 promos that have a literal first edition stamp on the bottom. Other than that, there's no confirmation. I've seen color differences when I open my boxes of the first chapter in August, September, October. Color differences in all the boxes, bro. Corners rounded, edged corners. It's all just quality control. You can straight up tell that they went through a variety. But Ravensburg went through a variety of printers to get these cards out in time, because they all come in a variety of shades, shapes, and sizes, miscuts, misprints. But there is no clear, concise, specific difference between the first wave of the first chapter and anything after that. So just drop it, okay? Okay. Anyways, Aurora Dreaming Guardians and Enchanted, that has been falling less than $100. This was one that I was looking at because I'd seen it kind of dwindling around close to that $100 mark, and yeah, it's taken that dip. It was closer to 140, 130, and then last couple of days it's fallen below $100 with a couple sales happening within that $192 range. I mean, $100 and $92, $95, and we have some verified listings for $93.99 and $94. Familia Games, Jose Manabe, shout out you guys for these low enchanted rare prices. I like this enchanted rare, less than $100. You know, that sounds like a come up. It's one of the newest enchanted rares to join the less than 100 party over here with Hercules, Beast Relentless, Shere Khan, Maui, all of these less than $100 on the market price. Simba Enchanted, Hades, what we've been known about Hades, Madam Mim Dragon, only around 81 plus the shipping, which is probably like the $10 more, but all of these enchanted goons less than $100 now. Crazy to see in this market, right? But now we have some single news for you. Beast Tragic Hero, aka Sad Boy Beast, is going to be trending a little bit high right now, guys. Not only is the non-foil price catching up to the foil price, but the non-foils have gone all the way up to almost $40. So last time we looked at this on Monday, this was closer to $30, maybe kind of bumping up 35, but not even. So we have a lowest verified near mint by Kodo Colon for $37.88, and after that, next verified isn't until the last one. We have the real MTG Kings for $43.99, guys. So there's a couple listings within that $35 to $40 range, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna get bought out soon because there's only one each. And once all those go away, the next listing starts to hit closer to $40. So is Beast Tragic Hero gonna hit a $40 legendary status? Well, when we compare it to the legendaries from last format, yes, I think so, because it's in demand. It's scarce because we've only had one printing of the Rise of the Floodborn, but we've already had two printings of the first chapter. So because of the two printings of the first chapter, we can see that Maleficent and Rapunzel aren't as expensive as Beast Tragic Hero. And this card will be a little bit more expensive if Steel was like the dominating color. But right now, Ruby Amethyst is the dominating color, and Amber is the second dominating color, but it plays Steel. So here we go with the Beast Tragic Hero. In general, Amethyst Steel, I think, is easily the number 3 best deck of the format in terms of color, and I definitely think you want to play Tragic Hero Beast in your in almost any Steel lineup that you're playing, right? Even the foils, like I said, are getting kind of close to that. The non-foil price are getting close to that foil price. The lowest non-verified foils are going to be $42.50, and that non-foil is $35. So you're only paying a couple more bucks to get a foil version today. If you can, if you're trying to get this card, I would just go ahead and get the foils, because you're only going to be paying a little bit more than the non-foils. And I do think when those prices get really close to each other, one of two things happens: either the foil price dips, or either the non-foil price will take a dip, or the foil price will shoot up. But either way, I think you're better off buying the foils in that scenario with this legendary. But our next legendary is going to be Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, going to be at that $30 mark. So still a $30 legendary. It makes sense, Ruby Amethyst being the dominating deck of the format, and the foils for this card are going to be just a tad bit more expensive at $42.98. So about $13 is what $13 more is what you'd probably pay for a foil Maleficent Dragon compared to a non-foil. And as I was saying, there's way more listings for this card than there is Tragic Hero Beast. There's 61 foils and 77 non-foils, whereas Tragic Hero Beast only had 42 non-foil listings, right? So that scarcity, you can kind of already notice it playing a huge impact on the price of Beast Tragic Hero. And a lot of the other legendaries in the Rise of the Floodborn are not in demand like that, so it is a shame that that is the only legendary that is experiencing that kind of scarcity situation where people want to buy that card because every other legendary in the game is just not in the Rise of the Floodborn is just not it. Rapunzel get through the healing, no longer in the $60 range. We said this last time. We've seen the prices come down very heavily on this card, and it was at $25 on a Friday, and now we're seeing them back at $29.99, etc. And like I said on Friday, I think 25 is like the lowest you'll probably see Rapunzel go for now. It's a great card. It's not going anywhere. Less than $25 seems outrageous, and I think if you're able to get them over the weekend at 25, you're good. Right now, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, and I think they're going to stay within this price range personally. Now, as for the following cards, we have Cinderella Barroom Sensation, kind of going back up a little bit in price. These were less than $15, and as of today, the lowest verified is going to be $14 plus $2 shipping, then $16.29, so $17 after which Shays is. So shout out all of you verified sellers for having these prices up. Cinderella Barroom Sensation no longer less than that $15 range, going back up to 16, 17. Will it travel all the way to 20? I don't think so. Arthur's not even 20 bucks no more, and although Cinderella Barroom Sensation is in demand and a very popular card, I think $15 is like the price that it's going to stay at, or probably less. Mufasa still keeping its $10 price point with Athoria Game Tempe as the lowest verified. Just wanted to point that out because Mufasa's been seeing a lot of play in a lot of Amber Steel and Amber Ruby decks. So that's kind of cool. The foils for these are basically double the price, $21 for a foil Mufasa. So that's kind of cool to see. Stitch Carefree Surfer has just been coming down in price. A lot of the first chapter reprints making an impact where these cards are going to be still at like that $10 mark and $9.50-ish mark, but the foils are keeping some value most of the time, but not in this case. Wow, I didn't think these foils were so low. The Carefree Surfer Stitch foils are only 20 bucks. Remember when the non-foil for this card was $45? Now I can buy foils for 20 bucks today, thanks to LG Cards. Shout out you guys. You have 3 of them? All right, LG Cards, you got me with this one. You got me with this one. This is my paycheck right here. This is my splurge spending for the week. I want some foil Carefree Surfers for $20 each. That is so cheap. Okay, Hades Infernal Schemer. This card kind of bouncing off that $15 mark, going slightly back up in price. I did think less than $15 was a little bit rash, right? But now we have the lowest verified at $17.49. Shout out Underworld Cards. But if you guys don't want to pay $17, you can get a $1 discount by going through some unverified sellers right here. So just to want to say, check that out. There's also some light played versions by some people who want to get rid of some cards they were probably playing. So you want to support your local goon, buy their light played versions. I'm sure they're still very crisp. Save a couple bucks. So Hades Infernal Schemer, no longer less than 15 bucks. Alice Growing Grow, I notice is a Sapphire card that nobody plays, but for whatever reason, this legendary is still more than $10. So it's about $12 to $13. And compared to like a lot of the other legendaries that people even do play, like Scarvicious Cheater, this card is still kind of a little bit more expensive than that card. And I think it's because of the princess tax, right? Usually when there's like main character princesses, I know she's a Dreamborn hero, but when there's like princesses in a card game, they usually end up being a little bit more expensive because they have that waifu tax, right? I think in Lorcana, it's safe to say it's a princess tax, and the foil for these are going to be 20 bucks. So why not get the foils, right? Cinderella Stout-Hearted, this card, oh my goodness, used to be in the 20s, then in the 15s, and it just keeps it's kind of just staying low. It looks like we can find plenty of them for less than $12. We have a lowest verified by Baker by Night cards with $11.19, and then after that, $11.25, $11.30. Yeah, this card used to be really hyped, and I still think it's good. It is a little slow for the format, unfortunately, and it just gets eaten up by certain cards, but it's definitely still a card you probably want to play in an Amber Steel, right? Arthur, Wizard's Apprentice. This card no longer closer to that $20 range. It's looking more like the non-foils are coming down to around less than 15. So $13.89, $12.99 with $1 shipping. So $13 to $14. They're around that $15 range last Friday when we looked at them because they have been kind of coming down a bit. I think Arthur's mainly used for aggressive versions of decks, and not every version of Ruby Amethyst needs to play Arthur. In fact, the list I showed you in the beginning, like I said, pretty much spot on to the first place list from that 250 person Pixelborn tournament, and it wasn't playing Arthur either. So you know, and a relatively expensive super rare that you don't necessarily need, right? Lady Tremaine, Imperious Queen. Now this card seems a little bit more of like one of those cards you do need. It is in demand for like a Ruby style deck, but you can definitely find these for more than $10 now. We have a lowest verified by Hot Dog Collector for $10.30, and after that, the lowest verified goes on to the next page with about $11. So getting close to that like $11 to $12 mark. Lady Tremaine over here. The foil is still kind of close to the same price, but going up a little bit. We have a lowest verified for $12.25. So after that, they start to get closer to 15. So if you're gonna pay $10 to $11 for your non-foil Tremaines, why not just get your foils for $12.25, $12.50 right here from Authority Games Tempe and Blade? I feel like paying $1 more for foils is a very good comparison, right? Tinkerbell Giant Fairy, still less than $10. Hasn't been going up in price in terms of the non-foil, but the foils have been going up in price a little bit, so I do want to point that out. So the non-foil you can find for about $7, and the foils you can find for about $10, lowest verified by Gorilla Games. And then after that, it goes to $12.80, $14, almost $15 for these foils. So if you're playing in the first chapter, you know this is a $20 card, and if you're barely coming into Lorcana right now, congratulations, these cards are cheap. If you don't want to play them, if you don't want to buy them full, you can pay half the price and get them non-foil. Same goes with Whole New World. This foil is about $10. Non-foil sales have been picking up a lot though, when it was under $5, and as of right now the lowest verified is going to be $5, but it is a light played. After that, the next verified is on the next page, so it's going to be about $6 to $7 for this card now if you're going by the lowest verified. But if you just want to get it at a discount, you can get these non-verified sellers as well. So it is kind of going back up. This card was less than $5. Sleepy's Flute, still a $5 foil, seeing a lot of popularity in the meta space, and lowest verified we have is $5.50 with $1 shipping by Malt Cards. Oh, okay, you know, actually, I would say it's a $6 to $7 foil now, going by these verified sellers. Once again, you don't have to go by verified sellers, but I do feel like most LGS locations and vendors in general are going to go by lowest verified, and they're going to take into consideration like shipping and stuff like that. So you'll probably have to pay more than like $5 on for most people, maybe like 6 to 7 for Sleepy's Flutes. And the foils as well. There's only 19 listings for the foil. These are about $7. Going by the lowest verified, and if we just keep going down after these couple listings it starts getting close to $10 foils. So maybe you want to get these before they hit $10, guys. Feast and Ambitions, a very cool card, going back up in price a little bit. Was less than $6 if I'm not mistaken, and now kind of going back up to that $7 range. I don't think it'll hit $10 again, and I don't think it'll ever hit $20 again. So last Friday, the prices were really low. This Monday, they're kind of picking back up a little bit, but your staples are still cheap as heck, bro. If you can find some Be Prepareds for $5, I would get them. We have lowest verified the Gaming Metro right here for $5.55, and if you go to the cold foils, these are still going to be about $10 plus, going by the lowest verified. So a couple market watches ago, I was picking up some foils of these because they're in that same $10 price range, and I said something was going to happen, and what ended up happening was that the non-foils dipped, and looking like the foils are still keeping some good pricing though, with lowest verified going to be $10 and non-verified have them at $9.85, $8.86 plus $1 shipping, etc. Lantern, going back up in price a little bit. All the cards were dirt cheap, so obviously when cards are dirt cheap, it's easy to go up in price from like $1 to $2. So a lot of lanterns were selling for like less than $2, and as of right now, the lowest verified for a near mint is going to be $2.40 with the $1 shipping, so about $3 for your non-foil lanterns now. Maui is another card that's been going up a little bit too. This one was less than $5. It's been less than $5 for a long time, with around that like $2 to $3 mark, and as of today, they're going up a little bit more. The lowest verified is $2.24 with $2 shipping. After that, it just starts hitting those $4 marks, so almost $5 again for the Maui rares, no longer less than $5. Sorcerer's Spellbook. These foils I think are pretty good comps in my opinion. The Sorcerer's Spellbook foil is only about $5 if you want to go through a non-verified seller, and then closer to $6 to $7 through a verified seller. That's pretty cool when the non-foils are already about $2 to $3, right? Merlin Rabbit, a lot of the amethyst foils are going to be worth something. So if you're opening packs and you pull some of these amethyst foils, make sure you hold on to them where you trade them for that value. We have Prophecy Gaming Co. with the lowest verified of the Merlin Rabbit for $9.09. So almost $10 for that foil rabbit. And then same thing goes with some of the other ones like Cogsworth, the non-foil Cogsworth going up a little bit to about that $4 range. And what's cool is that the foil Cogsworth is also around that $5 to $4 range. This probably will go, I mean, the foil is probably a lot better to obtain in my opinion. Let the Storm Rage on is a foil that is still about $2 to $3 for for trade or value. If you do want to, if you have some of those foil, make sure you're getting the value out of those. And Madam M Snake is an uncommon where the foil is about $4. So a lot of people want to foil out their decks, and if you have some foil staples, make sure you're getting the value out of those. Madam M Snake being about a $4 to $5 one, and I do want to go over these PAX promos that have been going down in price a lot. We were watching some of the other ones go, some of the Rapunzel and the 4 dozen eggs go from about $30 to $20, and same thing with this Pinocchio. This Pinocchio was out the gate about $25+, almost $30, and it's just been coming down lower and lower, and now we can find plenty of them selling for $12.98, $13. You know, we have Double Infinity for $13. He has 6 of them ready for you, and if you're afraid you're gonna miss out on getting the PAX promos, I did say that these were gonna be widely available as they keep hitting different events in the North American region. So same goes with the Rapunzel and the 4 dozen eggs, and most promos you're gonna see in Lorcana, right? Like, I wouldn't be too I wouldn't try to experience too much FOMO when it comes to these. You know, don't worry too hard about, oh, am I gonna be able to get my PAX promos? You know, if anything, think about the foreign ones like the Gaston. That one seems a little harder to obtain. But even then, I think that one's gonna go down. So yeah, I've been saying it in every market watch. Watch these go down. Be patient with them. If you just want to collect these, that's cool. Heck yeah, collect them. But you know, maybe be a little patient with when you choose to buy them, because the prices for a lot of these the event promos are just super hyped when they come out for no reason, right? Last, we have the D23 promo news. Let's look at some of these sales. We have a Mickey BLT PSA 9 that's sold for $8.50. Okay, that seems pretty low. A lot of these D23 PSAs have been going down in price in terms of how many of them are selling and whatnot. I think a lot of people just need Christmas money. So another one here, $7.60 for a PSA 9 Mickey Mouse BLT. The wow, this pin sold for $33. That's kind of cool. That's a really good price, I think. The PSA 10 hook selling for $1,500. Another PSA 10 hook selling for $1,500 as well. Okay, so that's about the price you're gonna probably look to pay for a PSA 10 D23 Captain Hook. These foils are so nice. And then we have a a Stitch Rockstar. Sold for $2,600 on December 14th off of 29 bids. Now, the last time we saw Stitch Rockstar here at the PSA 10 for D23, it sold for around $3,000, and then we saw another one that sold for a little bit less, closer to that like 28, 29 mark, and now we're seeing it at 26. So I think this is the range we're seeing it at, from $25 to $3,000. I do feel like some of these prices are coming down, because I did see this Elsa, for example. I had seen a PSA 9 Elsa sell for about $4,000. So I'm seeing this one for $3,175. Isn't necessarily alarming or anything, like if I had this card or whatnot, but I do think that there's going to be highs and lows for these cards, and because these are huge purchases, we're not going to see as many sales on this as we would see, for example, something like Beast Tragic Hero, which, you know, is a lot more affordable. We'll see sales for those happen on a regular basis, but these D23 promos, the sales don't happen that often, so you are going to be able to notice the big difference within, like, oh wow, a Rockstar Stitch sold for $3,000 last week, and this week it sold for only $2,600. Oh, the price is falling. That doesn't mean the price is falling. That just means a sale is happening, and you know, there needs to be fluctuation. You know, it can't always only go up. If quote unquote investing and then all that money was that easy, everyone would be rich, you know. And realistically, it's just a matter about collectibles and whatnot. It's just a matter of, like, does it have value to you? Do you want to collect it? This is not financial advice, guys. I'm just a dude who likes card games, who likes to buy cardboard. You know what I mean? And I'm just giving my opinions on how I spend my money, because I am a hardworking individual like the rest of you goons, and when I spend my money, you know, I really want to make sure that I'm doing it right. You know, I do feel like these hobbies are expensive. It's a privilege, but I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth, because I need to make sure it's worth it for me. You know, I need to make sure that the fun is worth for my wallet at the end of the day, right? So that's just my opinion on things. Thanks again for watching the Market Watch. If you are a Lorcana Goon, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it. And leave some opinions on what you guys want to see on the Market Watch, or what you guys want to talk about. And until then, stay tuned to Lorcana Goons. We will see you goons next time.